Welcome back, everyone. Sarah and Gabby here. So once again, for this last live on trauma, just a reminder, we're not trained mental health professionals. And if you're experiencing severe trauma or need professional help, please consult a qualified healthcare provider or mental health professional, okay? All right, so have you all started to notice how unresolved trauma can impact your daily life and relationships in unexpected ways? And what if there were simple techniques to help you manage and heal from these hidden wounds? What would that mean for you? What if you could break free from the shadows of your past and step into a life full of peace and joy? Liberation from trauma is not only possible, but it's also within your reach, okay? So it's really definitely something you can achieve, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first, let's just start with a brief review of the last 3 master classes that we've done. And today we'll kind of discover profound benefits of freeing ourselves from trauma and how we can start this transformative journey after this review. So we started with understanding trauma, okay? So that was our first live, and we've all experienced trauma in some form, right? Trauma, again, as defined by Merriam-Webster, it includes a disordered psychic or behavioral state from several mental or emotional stress or physical injuries occurrences. And this really just kind of scratches the surface, because trauma really is an event or emotion in your life that comes as an unpleasant surprise, and it really affects us on literally all the levels. So the physical, mental, emotional, and even spiritual levels, right? And those are the invisible scars that impact how we live our lives daily. And then trauma can result from overwhelming events, and it can lead to actual changes, like physical and chemical changes in our body and our mind and our behavior. And again, it affects our mental and physical health, causing symptoms like, anxiety, flashbacks, disturbed sleep, and so on. And everybody, and this is kind of key, but everybody experiences it differently. Trauma can lead to repeated patterns in our lives unless they're addressed. And again, just because I viewed an experience one way, you might feel it as traumatic in a completely different way, right? So it's completely different personalities, viewpoints that affect you. So take, for example, major events like natural disasters, violence, or accidents, or persistent emotional abuse or childhood neglect. We all view those and experience those differently if that was our story. And then you also have the daily minor traumas that can affect us too. And those are just from small injuries, cutting yourself when you're cooking, to conflicts like having a fight with your significant other. And, those will manifest as adverse reactions that usually, or a lot of times, can then indicate an underlying trauma.
So now let's talk about the common trauma responses. Our nervous system's fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses are way we cope with stress. And trauma can keep our nervous system on high alert, shaping our lives without conscious awareness. And trauma responses include intrusive thoughts, anxiety, and avoidance, impacting relationships, careers, and also our overall well-being. And unresolved traumas act as a silent saboteur in our lives, affecting physical health and relationships. And it also can lead to long-term stress, recurring flashbacks, avoiding behaviors, and increased jitterness. And the limbic system, responsible for emotions, remains constantly active, affecting our thoughts, actions, and relationships. So we covered several ways to manage trauma. Some of the techniques were the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, where you find 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. And we mentioned physical activity, meditation, safe place visualizations, a balanced diet and sleep, as well as self-compassion. Also, professional therapy such as EMDR or trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy can be very effective. Medication might also be necessary for some.
So we did want to cover 2 more ways to manage trauma, okay? So first, actually, let's talk about the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is a key component of our parasympathetic nervous system. It's the chill out part of our nervous system, and it sends information between your brain, heart, and your digestive system. It's a nerve that actually runs from your brain all the way to your large intestines through your body. You have one actually on both sides, so on your left, on your right side of the body. And this is the nerve that's actually responsible for rest, for relaxation and recovery. And when we are in a state of high stress from trauma, for example, a lot of us are in that high stress a lot of the time, activating that vagus nerve can actually help us return to a state of calm that's also known as the ventral vagal state.
Okay, now let's talk about a few exercises you can do in that regard. So using our vocal cords is one great way. So singing, humming, chanting Om, or even gargling with water can stimulate the vagus nerve through the vibrations created in our vocal cords. And we can also utilize yoga or Tai Chi. So certain poses from yoga, such as child's pose or cat-cow, can particularly beneficial. And diaphragmatic breathing is another one. We won't go into details here, but go check out our guides or search for our video on diaphragmatic breathing that will explain it further. You find it saved under guides. And also working on gut health can help, since probiotics and healthy diet can improve gut health, which the vagus nerve is closely linked to.
So one other exercise that you probably really haven't heard of is, one that we wanted to share, and that's the prana mudra with you. And it actually is used in yoga, I believe, too, but it energizes the body and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, okay? So how you do it is you sit comfortably with your spine straight, and then you touch the tips of your ring finger and little finger to the tip of your thumb. So like this. And then you keep the other 2 fingers kind of straight, but in a relaxed manner. Like you don't have to force them straight like that, okay? And then you rest your hands on your knees with the palms facing upward like this. And then you just close your eyes and breathe deeply and slowly. And you hold this mudra for 10, 15 minutes. So this is honestly something that I've done where I would just sit there when I'm listening instead of just watching TV. I'm just listening to the TV play. If I'm watching something with my husband, I'll just sit there and do this, close my eyes, and just I'm there, but I'm doing something else come to situation. So you can really just kind of build it in somewhere. Or if you're sitting in a meeting, don't close your eyes, obviously, but you can hold this mudra and still deep breathing and slowly and do this for 10 to 15 minutes. So it's something that you really can integrate into your daily life very easily.
Yeah, and just doing it now while Sarah was explaining it, I also felt start the relaxation kicking in, calming down, feeling everything settling down and really relaxing.
Yeah, don't do it when you're driving.
Yes.
Okay. If you're actively like moving, driving any heavy machinery, don't do that, because for me, it not sleepy, but very relaxing.
Yes. So, and now ultimately, what else can you do to help yourself heal from trauma and even assist others with it? Just imagine if you had some tools at your disposal to easily help your mom release some of the trauma she experienced from falling and breaking her hip, or your friend who lost her dog, or yourself for all the experiences you have gone through, from nasty comments from coworkers to arguments with your spouse to that car accident 5 years ago. Just how free and empowered would you feel if you would be able to release the impact the trauma still has on your life to this day? How strong would you feel freeing yourself from the grip of trauma? Just imagine that for a minute.
Well, we have an absolutely wonderful opportunity for all of you. The doors are open for registration for our UnTrauma the Heal Empower Love Way workshop starting August 6th and 6th. And this workshop allows you to unlock the path to reclaim control over your health by freeing yourself from the grip of trauma. So this is an actual 8-week live workshop with us where we meet once a week for 2.5 hours, and it's designed to help you release traumas and trapped emotions. If you think about it on an energetic level, traumatic experiences, whether conscious, subconscious, generational, or even collective, they disrupt our energy system and they leave lasting scars. And if you're ready to release those burdens and achieve, profound healing, then this workshop is tailor-made for you because we work on exactly all of those: subconscious, generational, the conscious, the collective. And this workshop, slowly came together as Gabby and I struggled with our own respective traumas. Me struggling with a difficult birth, and then Gabby having to place her mom into a nursing home and dissolving the apartment she grew up in. And if you're just so tired of, feeling overwhelmed, disempowered, hopeless, or you're searching for answers or relief, then this workshop is for you. And we will be really addressing again trauma on a conscious, subconscious, generational, and collective level in our energy field, and how we can clear them on an energetic level with several other techniques built in.
So you really will walk away having learned at least one new technique per week that you can use in your daily life. They are simple yet powerful, along with tailored empowerment journeys and so much more. How cool that you can create your own healing, right? So empowering. We will also guide you through practice runs and will partner you up with other participants in breakout rooms. Sounds great, right? And there is more. We also have our own private group where you will have a supportive community to ask all your questions, share experiences, and so much more. And you will get to closely interact with us, creating your own support system. And each week will also include a Q&A, allowing you to really hone in on all your questions. And besides trauma techniques, we will cover other topics as techniques on meditation practice that revolve around other vital aspects of trauma on an energetic level.
So guys, we're not just making this up, okay? This stuff really works. So let's just look at a few testimonials that we've gotten from prior course participants, okay? So Angelica from Canada says, I did the conscious trauma clearing with 2 of my clients yesterday with incredible results. One in person who reports back today that it was so helpful as she's going through a divorce, and each time she had to deal with her ex, she was triggered into feeling unworthy. Since experiencing this technique, she feels she's standing in her power. Amazing. I got goosebumps right now. And then feeling worthy of all goodness in life and ready to move forward in confidence. And the other client was online. And yes, you guys can do these techniques long distance, okay? The people don't have to be in the same room as you. And she's on disability and returned into her subconscious fears about returning back to work, which seemed to be holding her back from getting well. After the technique, she said, I'm feeling fine. I haven't felt like this in years. I am feeling fine. Wow. I find this technique is so easy and quick. I'm so grateful to use this for myself and others. Thank you, Gabby and Sarah. Amazing. So this is really magic. It's the gold of just one technique we will teach you in the workshop, okay? You can't make this up.
Yeah, and here's one more. LW from Ohio says, the day we received the conscious trauma clearing technique, a client unexpectedly had to choose euthanizing her beloved dog. She was grieving deeply, and I offered to do the clearing, knowing one step specifies the recipient should cross their eyes. She has one eye. Would it still work? I proceeded with intention for her highest good and belief that energy goes where it is needed. After 3 rounds, she went from a scale of 8 to 0 on the gauge of severity of feeling. What a blessing. As Sarah said, energy is incredible. Our workshops are choked full of so much incredible information. You don't want to miss this. Go to www.healempowerlove.com/untrauma-workshop for more information.
Now, for all of you that actually have participated here, we have a special surprise, okay? So we are opening the doors to you where you will be able to register for the workshop with a 15% discount for the first 20 people that sign up. Okay, this is a discount that is not available anywhere else, so please don't sleep on this. It's going to fill out quick. And, you know, I was able to overcome my birth trauma with my son through these techniques. And if I can heal my traumas, you can too. And if you sign up now for the workshop, the 15% should automatically be taken off. We've set it up that way that Facebook people will receive it. But if you have any questions, feel free to also email us at heal.empower.love@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you in our workshop. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Stay safe and be well.